Good morning. Good morning. How are we? I'm inside this morning. It's a little bit windy outside, so I thought we'll move back inside for today. Happy Monday. I hope we're all good. And yeah, let's get going. We're going to get started. So on Mondays, I like to think about focusing on the shoulders. So that's where we're going to focus on this morning. So we're going to begin in an easy seat, whether that's Sukhasana, crossing at the ankles, or if kneeling feels okay, come to kneel. We're going to be here for maybe 5 minutes, maybe 3-4 minutes. So if kneeling is not something that feels good for that amount of time, you can obviously come out whenever you feel you need to. But yeah, see how you get on. Right. Give yourself a nice big shoulder roll. And let the hands just rest down wherever feels comfortable. So mid-thigh, hip creases, or maybe closer to the knees, whatever feels nice this morning. That opening of the chest and rolling of the shoulders naturally might make you want to bring your palms to face the sky. And then think about your positioning of the spine. As always, the shoulders are going to sit over the hips. The crown of the head is going to reach to the sky. Notice the head hasn't moved forward. So almost tuck the chin very slightly to lengthen through the back of the neck. And then finally allow the face to soften. Maybe if you need to move the jaw a little, relax the skin around the eyes. Come to find some stillness. And as always, that little check-in about how you're feeling this morning. Just ask yourself that question. How am I? And it's not about going too deep into why. It's just more of a labeling and an awareness of how you are rather than why. So no judgment and no unpacking, just a little bit of awareness. And then sitting in that knowledge that you're exactly where you planned to be this morning. The next half an hour or so is just about moving and breathing, spending some time with your body, spending a little bit of time closer to your breath. And whenever you're ready, you can shift your thoughts now to the breath. How's it feeling this morning? Where's it moving? How's it moving? Where are the sensations? Can you feel the chest lifting and lowering? Maybe you can feel it in the belly, the sides of the body, maybe the back of the body. I want to get to the point where you do feel you're breathing into the whole of the torso, filling and expanding on the inhale, lowering and contracting on the exhale. And allow the thoughts to really just be completely focused on that journey. Maybe making the breath a little smoother and longer. And you're using the breath as like a tether during the practice to keep your thoughts away from to-do lists and what happened yesterday, what's happening later. Because that focus on the breath allows you to think about the physical body whilst we're moving. Just a couple more breaths here. And then on your next exhale, you're just going to let the head hang really heavy, chin to chest. And hopefully you felt that straight away by dropping the shoulders down the back and letting the head completely go. Feel a stretch or release along the back of the neck from the base of the skull to that kind of top. It's not the top of the spine, but there's a really kind of knobbly bone that sticks out at the very top of your back. So you want to feel it stretching from there all the way to the base of the skull. And then you can stay like that, or you can start to gently sway the head. And with these sways, you're going to start moving that stretch into the side of the neck, maybe even the top of the shoulder. And it's first thing in the morning, and the neck is a very sensitive place. It holds a lot of tension. So you're going to sway slowly. There's no rush here. And it's almost like you're bringing your ear to the top of the shoulder. And it's a nice kind of gentle roll of the head. We're not whipping it quickly. We're moving it slowly with the breath. And then next time you're over to the right, just pause. You can reach the left hand out to help you out there. And we're hopefully really feeling this across the left side of the neck, the top of the left shoulder. If you want a little bit more, you can drape the hand. And it's nothing too heavy here. We're not pulling, we're just resting the hand, maybe pressing the head against the hand. You might take a moment to move your left wrist and fingers. If you're not feeling very much, play around with the angle of the chin. Good. And then when you're ready, back to center. And I always feel a little bit of crunching when I do this bit before I go to the other side. And then other side when you feel ready. Doesn't matter which way you started, whether you're going to the right or the left, just get into it. Same thing. This time your right hand's going to reach out, your left hand's going to drape. One side might feel more tight than the other. You might not need to drape the hand. You might not need to reach the fingertips. Good, we're just here for 2 more breaths. I know the legs might be feeling the kneeling position now, so if they are, remember you can ease out. We've just got probably 1 more sequence of stretching to do, and then we are on to tabletop, or into tabletop. Good, release the head down. And then instead of the kind of sways, you can obviously come back to those. Maybe you want to start to circle the head now. Again, really slowly, really carefully. If you had a little kind of pencil on the end of your nose, you'd be drawing a nice circle here in both directions. Good. And then when you're ready, interlace the fingers in front of you or bring the hands to prayer. Draw the knuckles away, drop the chin to the chest, reach forward. And then when you're ready, drop the thumbs, sweep the arms behind you, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Just pause here for a moment. Try and keep the hands nice and high. Active in the shoulder blades, squeezing. Nice. Inhale, reach the arms up. Elevate the shoulders here, really lift them high. Stretch your spine out. Good, and then exhale back down to center. You're just going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, prayer or knuckles away. Exhale, fingertips wide. Lift the chin. Inhale, arms come up, maybe look all the way up. And then exhale back to center. Good, last one, inhale. Fingertips wide as you exhale. Reaching up as you inhale. Listen carefully. We're just going to go into a side stretch. Last little bit of work kneeling. So over to the left, stretching out the right side body. Again, the fingertips are resting to help you. And I like to drop my hand down here. And we've already done the wrist and the fingers, so you can just bend and extend that elbow a few times. Almost like you're tapping the middle part of the back. Stay with the side stretch and then just circle the elbow about 5 times. Nearly there, guys. I know the legs will be feeling it in your kneeling position. Last time, inhale back to center. Exhale, fingertips down. Inhale, knuckles away. Exhale, fingertips wide. Lovely. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale over to the other side. Drop the top hand. Bend and extend a few times. Oh, that should feel really good. Nice side stretch. And into those circles with the elbow. Lovely. Well done, everyone. Inhale, come back to center. Give the arms a little shake. And then you are in tabletop. So come to roll forward and ease out those legs. That will feel really nice. And the ankles as well, I imagine. Take your time, no rush. Ooh. It's not often we keep our legs in a flexed position. You know, the knee joint doesn't often stay like that for too long. So go slowly into straightening those legs. Well done if you managed that. It was definitely 5 minutes. Kind of was a little bit, vague with 3 minutes, wasn't I? Well, not vague. Maybe a little extension of the truth. Great. So wherever you are, let's get into some more spinal movements now. And as you move the spine here, can you focus more on the shoulders, the rib cage and the chest? Just because that's where we're looking at this morning. So as you move through your cat-cows, can you think, hey, what are my shoulders doing? What's my head doing? How's my neck moving? Can I exaggerate the movement of the rib cage a little bit more than the rest of, my spine, like the waist and the hips? Good, well done, guys. And then from here, let's just take our extended kind of melting heart. So you're going to walk your hands forward. I like to take them wide, but play around with this. If you bring the hands narrow, you're going to feel it more in the shoulders. If you take them wide, you're going to feel it more in the chest. So by all means, in fact, let's do 2 sets of these so you can feel the difference. So let's bring hands wide to begin with. So think about almost your middle finger coming to the top corners of your mat. Nice and strong through the lower body, so bring the navel in. You can always tuck the toes to help you out here. You want to feel this through the front of the chest. Beautiful. Push back up nice and slowly. Walk the hands in. Tuck all 10 toes. And let's lift into our first downward facing dog. And that should feel nice through the backs of the legs. Walk out your downward dog. And again, in our downward dog, can we think about what our upper body is doing here? Can we think about the spine being nice and long rather than focusing on the legs and the hips? Can you think about the shoulders? Shoulder position in downward dog is a little bit tricky. We don't want them up by the ears. We want them kind of drawn down the back. And this cue really helped me once. It said, try and get your armpits to face one another. So can you kind of think about that sensation? It's almost like you're drawing your shoulders down the back and then a slight inward rotation. Have a go at that. Okay, great. How's that feeling? And remember, your hands, we say shoulder width, but sometimes it's nice to take the hands a little bit wider. This is fine. Okay, roll forward, walk the feet back, high plank. Remember what you know in your high plank. You're pushing the floor away. You're drawing the crown of the head long, the tailbone long. We're spreading the shoulder blades here. We're really pushing. For 3, for 2, good. On 1, knees down. Let's take some presses here. So draw the shoulder blades down the back, lift the chin slightly, come halfway, and then push up. Remember, if that's too much, you walk the knees in, you come here. Okay, and we're doing 5. So that's 4, 3, 2, good. On 1, push yourself back up, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. We're going to do 2 more sets of those, okay? Building strength as well as opening this part of the body. That's the sign of a good muscle. It's long, as in we've got flexibility in the belly of the muscle and the joint where it kind of ends and begins. So we've got the length, and then we've also got the strength of the muscle. So let's go again. Nice little recovery there and some learning. Muscles long and strong. High plank. Let's just hold for 1 breath this time. Lower the knees. 5 presses again. Exhale halfway. Inhale, come up. And I say halfway. It doesn't matter if you don't get to halfway. You can kind of come a third of the way. Okay. As long as we're nice and controlled. For 2. Good. And 1. Push yourself back. Downward facing dog. How's that feeling? They're hard, right? It's not easy, these presses. Walk it out. Do what you need to in your downward dog to recover. Remember, child's pose is also an option. Great. Okay, last set. When you're ready, walk the feet back. Roll forward. High plank. Just 1 breath. Exhale the knees. 5 presses. Exhale halfway. Inhale, come up. Halfway. Come up for 3. For 2. Listen carefully on 1, halfway down, just a little hold, and then belly to the floor, nice and controlled. Roll the shoulders back, lift through the chest. I don't mind if you take the fingertips a little bit wider to help you out here. There's not too much weight in the hands. We're really engaged in the lower body. Tops of the feet are pressing down, thighs are drawn up, and we're strong there. The fingertips are just lifting or hovering to help us lift. Good. If you want to lift and lower with the breath, just to get yourself a little bit more in tune as to what muscles are working, you can. It's the back body, yeah? It's the shoulders and the back muscles. Exhale, release down, tuck the toes, forehead down, strong push back. You can keep the knees on the floor. Take a child's pose, knees wide. Enjoy that little rest. Just 3 breaths here. Sometimes it's nice to bend the elbows back, point the prayer down the back. It gives you a nice stretch through the triceps, which are one of the muscles we're working when we do those presses. Great, okay, come back to tabletop. All 4s, yeah? Move around here. Okay, listen carefully. Left hand's going to come in front of the face. Right arm's going to come up. Good, and then switch it out. Right hand down, left arm up. So twisting this morning, just 3 on each side, and then we'll do a little hold. Try and keep the knees, the hips, the feet nice and square. Just the chest and the rib cage rotating. Good, okay. Next time you lift the right hand, We're just going to hold for a moment. Look to the right. Keep the hips level, draw the navel in, stack the shoulders if you can. Beautiful. Listen carefully. You're going to thread the arm under. You're going to bring, I like to walk my left hand forward here just to get a nice stretch through the left side body. You're going to bring the right temple to the earth. You're going to stay here. Nice stretch for the outside of the shoulder. Good. This left hand, you don't have to keep it on the ground. If you want something more, you can kind of rest it on the low back. You can kind of bind a little bit more. Again, yogi's choice. Some of you, if you like to balance here, you can touch the left toes and just lift the left leg. Try and keep the hips square. If you are lifting the hand as well, just be mindful. It's very easy to roll over here if you kind of lift the leg a bit too high. Either way, whether you're balancing with or without arms, legs lifted. Come down when you're ready. Left hand slides back in by the face. And you just rotate back up. Oh, very briefly. Nice. Same thing, other side. So a little bit of movement, shoulders forwards and backwards before we do that on the other side. So right hand underneath the face. Left arm reaches up. Pausing just for a few breaths before we do that. Twist and hold. Last inhale, reach, and then exhale, thread. And be mindful, it's so easy to come close to the knees. We don't want to lose the length in the spine here. Yeah? Good. So remember your options. You can stay here. You can reach the top arm, binding, holding. Yogi's choice. If you want a little bit more, it's the right toes that tuck. It's the right foot that lifts. Remember, if you're balancing, can be a little tricky. First thing you're going to do is roll over to the side, but just be mindful where you are. You might not have as much space at home. Good. We're here and we're holding for 3, for 2. Good. On one knee down, if you lifted. Right hand underneath the face. Then come all the way up. And back to tabletop. Great. Okay, let's come to that second version of our melting heart. So instead of the hands being wide, you're going to bring them really narrow. Almost get the thumbs to touch. Walk the hands forward as far as you can and bring the torso down. So you might not get as low, and hopefully you'll feel this in a different part of the body. So maybe a little bit more through the tops of the shoulders, maybe a little bit more through the upper torso, side body though. If you're not feeling very much, you can bring the hands onto some bricks or go a little bit higher. Good, I like this one. Again, remember the floor can be the wall. You could do this against a wall first thing in the morning. Can you spin the arms? You know that cue I said about the armpits facing one another? Do that here. Notice how that feels. So draw the shoulders down the back and then energetically turn the armpits towards one another. How does that feel? You should feel something from that. Okay, great. When you're ready, just realise there we go. Okay. I was not thinking about the time at all this morning. Okay, forearms come down. Creep the shoulders over the forearm, over the elbow, sorry. Tuck all 10 toes and let's meet in a forearm plank. Okay, push into the forearms. Broaden through the upper back. Hollow out the chest. If it's too much, you drop the knees. We're here for 5, for 4, for 3, 2. Listen carefully on 1. Soften the knees. Can you walk the feet in and start to lift the hips so we find ourselves in a dolphin position? Now, it doesn't matter what the legs look like. The knees can be soft. It's all about lifting the hips and pressing through the forearms. Let the head being heavy. Good. How's that feeling? See if you can just give me 3 more breaths here. Nice. From here, maybe walk the feet back a touch, push into the hands. See if you can lift into a downward facing dog. Nice. How does that downward facing dog feel? Sometimes it's nice to swing the arms here. We focus on the legs a lot in our downward dog. Give the arms a little swing. Yeah? Okay, listen carefully. Left heel's going to come down. Right foot's going to step forward. Warrior 1 is where we're going to meet. So push into the feet and come all the way up. Gosh, didn't realise I'm a bit noisy, sorry. A bit cut off today, aren't I? New location, guys, new location. Warrior 1. I'm here, still here. So the right foot is forward, the left heel is at 45 degrees. Hips are square, arms are going to come up. And we're going to go straight into a cactus shape with the arms. So elbows wide, squeeze them together. That's going to encourage the rib cage through. It's going to lift the chin, and shoulders are active here. Squeeze the shoulder blades. I want you to feel your back working here. How's the breath? Can you squeeze the shoulders a little bit more? Lift the elbows a little bit more. Good. On your next inhale, just briefly extend the leg, float the hands down behind you, clasp them together, punch the sky behind you, and then re-bend into the knee and fold forward into your humble warrior. Again, really thinking about clasping hands, pressing palms together, bringing those knuckles up and over. Nice. How's the breath? Just give me one more here. Lovely. Release the hands down. Drop the back knee. You're in your low lunge. Move forwards and backwards just a few times here. We won't totally neglect the hips before the day ahead. Good. And then when you're ready, let's twist. So left hand down, right arm up. Yogi's choice, you can lift the back knee if you want. Breathing here, really stacking the shoulders. Nice. Okay, exhale, hand down. Big step back to your plank. Can you pick up the foot? And then if you want, chaturanga, knees or halfway. Roll over the toes, upward facing dog, or you're down here in your cobra. If you're in your upward facing dog, we're going to pause here, pull the rib cage through, lift the chin for 3, strong through the legs for 2. Good. On 1, flip over the toes, send the hips back and high, downward facing dog. Ah, nice. Okay, other side. Right heel's going to come down. Left foot stepping forward. Good. Take a moment to steady yourself and then rise into your warrior 1. Again, same thing. If you want, you can cactus again, or you can hook the thumbs, spread the fingers. This is another nice variation. But we're trying to take our elbows behind us. We're trying to pull the rib cage through. Same sensation, just a little bit of tension now. Legs are strong, chin is lifted. We're here and we're holding for 3, for 2. Good. On 1, ease off that front leg. Float the arms down and behind you. Clasp the hands together. Shift the thumb along by 1. So you're just alternating that grip. Punch the air away from you or the air behind you. Bend into your left knee and forward fold. Humble warrior. Head nice and heavy. Knuckles coming up and over. And I say knuckles coming up and over. Can you still continue to punch the sky above you? Then tease the arms over. Breathing here for 3, for 2. Good. On 1, release the hands down. Tuck the back toes. You can drop the knee and just ease into those the low lunge, and then also like the half splits. That forwards and backwards movement. Really nice first thing in the morning. Really good for the hips, the hamstrings and the hip flexors, front and back of your upper leg. Good. When you're ready, twisting. So right hand stays down, left arm reaches up. Back toes lifted, back knee lifted or grounded. Yogi's choice. How's the breath? How's the mind? You know, when we get to this kind of final part of the class, so easy to go into your day, right? Let's not do that. Exhale, top hand down. Pick up the foot, step it back. Strong through your vinyasa. How does that feel? Slow movement, intentional. One more vinyasa here. And then we're going to end with our belly on the floor. So I don't mind how you get there. You might want to slither forward from a child's pose, or you might just lower down from a high plank. However you get there, find your way there. Okay, so right hand is going to come out to the side. We're working into a nice shoulder stretch here. So if this doesn't feel like much is going on, bring a bend to the elbow, cactus the arm, yeah? And all you're going to do is roll onto the right side. So with the right arm extended, you're going to roll yourself over to the right side and just use the floor like you could use the wall, yeah? And we're just holding for 5 or so breaths each side. If you want a little bit more, the top leg can bend and you can plant the foot almost like it comes off the mat. And that's just encouraging this into a bit of a deeper stretch. And even with your left hand, so the free arm, you can almost take that behind you as well. Yeah? Some people might be able to clasp with the right hand. I'm very tight in my shoulders, so that has never been an option for me. We're working towards it though. We're working towards it. The right temple is rested. We're relaxed here. But yeah, play around with your left arm. What does it want to do? Breathing for 3. This is a great one for 2. Good. On 1, back to center. Take a moment to reset. So it's nice to bend the knees and swish the feet and just bring the hands out in front of you. One forearm on top of the other. And then go straight to the other side. So left arm extends out. Remember, straight or cactus. The cactus shape with the extended arm will make this feel more intense. So take your options. Play around with both if you want. You can ease out and come back in. Left temple is going to be on the floor. Right leg, your top leg, is going to maybe bend and plant behind. Remember, that's again an option. You don't have to do that. This might be enough, legs stacked. The extended arm needs to be your focus though. Is it straight? Is it in line with your shoulder? And then remember, you've got your right hand to play around with now. Do what you want with that. Good opportunity to close the eyes and think about how you're feeling, and undoubtedly you'll be entertaining your day ahead. So we carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. So it's good to give them some love, right? Don't carry around too much today. Whatever you're carrying, make sure it's an essential. Yeah. Sometimes we end up carrying things that we don't need to. Believe me, I've been there. Still there sometimes. Work in progress, right? Come back to center. Swish the feet. Bring the forearms out in front of you. Just decompress here a little bit. Maybe bring the shoulders forward and the palms beside you. But when you're ready, you're going to take a child's pose, but the knees are closed together. The forehead is down towards the floor and the hands are beside the feet. So a different style of child's pose, more closed, more heavy in the front of the shoulders. They're almost scooping forward. When you're ready, hands beside the knees, roll up through the spine really slowly. And can you get the neck to come back to that head heavy position where we started, and then slowly lift up. So really uncurl the spine, super slow. How are we feeling? Hopefully a little bit taller. Arms come up. Let's take a twist. So hands behind the head. Just start to move from side to side. So back in that kneeling position, notice how it feels. Okay, next time you're over to the right, just pause there. Remember, you can stay here, or you might want to reach the left arm forward, the right hand behind you. Yogi's choice. I forgot my hair bobble this morning, didn't I? I'm sure you've been able to tell that my hair's been a bit wild. Hold the twist wherever you are. There's no rules in yoga anyway. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you look like. It's all about how it feels. Good. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hands behind head, other side again. Just pausing. Remember, you don't have to reach with the hands. You can just keep the hands behind the head. Sitting nice and tall on the inhale, encouraging the twist as you exhale. Good. Inhale back to center, sweep the arms up. And then exhale, just come to find stillness. We'll take 10 breaths. I'm going to move into easy seat, Sukhasana. My favorite. And it's so easy to kind of end your practice there, but this isn't the end just yet. You're going to spend just a few moments being intentionally still and focusing on a nice deep conscious breath. And sometimes for a lot of us, this is the hardest part of the practice. It's so easy to kind of head off now and think, that's it, all done. This is where the magic happens. So let's find 10 breaths here. Whenever you're ready, breathing in and breathing out. Nice deep breath in. Long, slow, steady breath out. 8 more in your own time. Breathing in and then breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Last 5, all on your own. Last 2. Final breath in. As you exhale, bring the chin to the chest. Slowly let it go. Little bow, sign of gratitude for taking this time to move and to breathe, to get you ready for the day ahead. Have a wonderful day. Happy Monday. Enjoy whatever you're up to today. Thanks for joining me. And yeah, see you tomorrow, same time, 7 a.m. Maybe we'll be back outside. Hopefully we will. It's nice to be outside. Right, big love, guys. Well done.